Welcome to a very special
Trivial Debates
celebration hour featuring the 100th episode, the very first
Trivial Debates
since episode. Way to go, Homer! And surprise celebrity tributes.
Well, hello and good afternoon. Today is August 16th, 2026, and it is a milestone 11 years in the making as we are here for the 100th episode of Trivial Debates, the ultimate pop culture challenge. And in each episode, we have three panelists who will be judged and scored on their arguments for facts, passion, and creativity. 100 episodes ago, we gathered for the very first time with a simple idea: put friends behind microphones, ask the most subjective questions imaginable, and let arguments fly. Now, more than a decade later, we are turning back the clock, dusting off the old hat, and returning to our original form for one special celebration, one episode to harken back to where it all began. We are bringing back the original roster with one slight adjustment. We have Kevin Millard today stepping into the role once held by Jerry McCrae. It's kind of a retcon. You know how like Captain America is not an original member of the Avengers, but then he kind of is because he joined in episode 4. So is Kevin Millard. He is that analogy, which I guess makes Jerry the Hulk. Okay. Anyway, so everything else remains exactly as it was. The judge, me, the format, the questions, the spirit. We're asking the same questions as we asked in episode 1. 11 years ago, almost 12 years ago, actually. One, to see whether these answers stand the test of time or whether new blood will be introduced into the Trivial Debates soil. On our centennial episode, let's celebrate it properly. So how this show works, we'll have 6 rounds plus a speed round by our top 2 panelists. That will be movies, TV, music, sports, history, and the wild card. We want people to be passionate and not personally mean to one another. Remember that?
Jody.
Jody.
What?
And it's time.
It's not my fault. You're all fools. All right.
Let's introduce our panelists today. Of course, we have the winner from that episode 1. Here to defend the title is Jody Simpson.
I'm the winningest winner ever, Dave. It even says so down there.
We'll see if that holds up. If your arguments will be just as convincing. If you will argue the same answers. I don't even know if you're arguing the same answers as you did 11 years ago, but we'll see.
I have no idea. I didn't look it up, so I have no clue. But I will say, Dave, you are looking very good today. And I'm looking forward to your fair and unbiased opinions on things.
Of course, Jody. I would only give you the most objective treatment.
When I found out you were the host, I'm like, fantastic.
When I reminded you I was the host a few minutes ago, I think that's when you're like, oh, I need to.
I was excited.
Yes, exactly. Okay, so as we mentioned, we also have today with us Kevin Millard coming in for the role of the other contestant. Does go back to the very beginning, episode 3, which was like we used to do the show weekly. So that was really the beginnings of our friendship, Kevin. So
yes, right around the kitchen table.
Right around the kitchen table.
I'd like to remind you, I see you're wearing your Taz uniform. I'd like to remind you that Jody is the only one not on your team.
Yes.
That's on the panel today.
And we'll see you later.
You know, food for thought.
Yeah.
That's true. And he was against me in the Meter Open. So
that's true.
I also won against you.
Yeah.
Some would say I'm a better baseball player than you, but that's fine.
Perhaps. Yes, okay. And of course, joining us is my brother and co-creator of Trivial Debates, Jeff Mader, who kept us from going to air 26 minutes ago.
Computer did. I didn't personally.
Yes. And they were
it's
like,
running Windows 98. Somebody get Bill Gates.
Yeah. You said this would be faster and 10 times more reliable.
It is. And then they just shoot him. Well, they were all cursing you, Jeff. You may have some ground to make up here after you've derailed this production. But perhaps you can make it up in your debates, in your arguments.
I'll try.
We're live streaming here. We used to pre-record the show. Now we live stream it. So we, of course, have live comments here. Welcome to our longtime fans like Sam Higdon and others here in the chat. I want either Jeff or Kevin to win. So not Jody. That's what
that's fine.
Sam's going for. Anybody but Jody.
Haters are going to hate, Dave. Haters are going to hate.
Right. Well, I don't think there's anything else we need to explain before we can jump into the debate. So with that said, let's get ready to rumble. It's time for Trivial Debates. Heading into the movie question, which is the same one we asked in episode 1. What is the best movie set in Canada? Which is a tough choice because there are not many movies, actually fictional movies, set in
There's
Canada.
a lot of movies that are shot in Canada.
Shot in Canada, but they're meant to be in New York or somewhere else.
Yeah.
So we're going to jump into this. I guess, Jody, you will be contestant 1 today, so you are up first.
Oh, am I? Okay. All right. Well, I picked Scott Pilgrim versus the World. And the reason why I did was for a couple of reasons. Number one, it doesn't try to not be Canada. It's very Canada. It takes place in Toronto. We have local landmarks such as Lee's Palace, Pizza, Casa Roma, the stairs, which I can't remember the name of them now. But all these scenes, it's not sympathetic at all towards people who want it to be Chicago or want it to be something else. Just overall, it's a great way of representing that city. Anybody who lives locally knows all of these landmarks. The other thing that I like about this movie is the fact that it also showcases a lot of local talent, i.e. Canadian talent, which is also another reason why I picked this. So overall, I just think it's a great representation of what Canada is, as well as, you know, how cold it gets and stuff like that as well. But overall, I just think it's a great way of representing.
Yes, and how we're full of coins, loonies and toonies.
Well, that's when people die, Dave.
Yeah, when people die only.
We all spit out coins. You just didn't know that. That's all.
Okay, coming in next is Jeff Mater with his 60 seconds starting now.
Okay, I chose a movie called Black Robe from 1991. It's a movie about the Jesuit missionaries in the 1600s. Where this is a period of time Canada was called New France at the time, and basically it's kind of the crux of what Canada became before Canada, like 200 years before Canada actually was formed. And it's kind of like the forgotten history that we don't talk about enough. I mean, there are things you can go, but this is about trying to convert native peoples at the time to Christianity. There's some really great set pieces in this. It's very historically accurate to the time, to the natives as well, and they speak in the native languages. There's 3 different native languages spoken in this. The French people do speak English. It's kind of the one thing that isn't quite period accurate, but other than that, it's really, really good. It's a great watch. It holds up today, and I think it's a great story of Canada.
All right, thank you, Jeff. Okay, and coming in last here is Kevin with his choice, and his time starts now.
I may have the best Canadian story. This is a beer baroness with no legs.
Strange Brew.
What's that? No, not Strange Brew. This is the saddest music in the world. She is doing a competition, worldwide competition. Countries come and compete for this to decide who has the saddest music in the world. That isn't really the biggest part of the movie. It all ends. It's filmed as if the film is from the 1930s, from Depression era Winnipeg. And with all the film grain and everything, the set pieces are incredible. And in the end, her lover makes her, or a jilted lover makes her glass legs filled with beer. End of movie. It's crazy. It's a fever dream in black and white.
What year is this movie?
2003.
Okay.
What is it with
Mark
Winnipeg?
McKinney, Isabella Rossellini.
There's another movie set in Winnipeg that's called Winnipeg, and it's shot in black and white, and it's about sleepwalking. You know,
Yeah.
I don't know.
This is not just set in black and white, though. The film looks old, like
All right.
old.
You guys are now in open debate with our 3 choices here, so have at it.
All right. I'll make this very, very easy. Mine is unapologetically Canadian. There is nothing that says it isn't Canadian. The other 2, one of them was set place before Canada was Canada, so I'm not even sure why that qualifies. And the other one, which is another movie that I've never fucking even heard of, which is what Kevin says. However, a beer leg is something that is impressive. I will
Well,
say
like,
that.
Two
like-
legs. Two legs.
It's like saying like, a movie, set at that time is not really about America, but it is. It's part of our history. It's in the same place, and and it's there's lots of different.
You said it
things
was about New France.
It is, but New France was.
Oh, okay.
It's set literally
That's
in
not
Ontario.
Canada.
Like it's from Quebec to Ontario is the whole journey. It is.
I don't know. You called it New France. That doesn't sound like Canada to me, but all right. That's fine.
I think it's part of the history. Anyway, it's not what makes it a great movie. It's not just about the technicalities. There's some really it's basically, if you've seen Silence or if you've seen any of these Jesuit kind of missionary movies, like someone compared it to like it's the equivalent of like doing like a moon mission at the time. It's like these people were so out of their element. It was so dangerous what they were trying to accomplish.
It sounds terrible. Like, out of all the missionary movies I could watch, I'm gonna watch this one. I don't think so.
I think you should.
There's so many other positions that are nice as well.
Well, and you're saying, Jody, that Scott Pilgrim is like unapologetically Canadian, but so is the
Absolutely.
saddest music in the world. Our sense
I
of
don't know.
humor
No one's
is
seen it.
quirky and weird, and
Just because they went to Pizza is not a good argument for why Scott Pilgrim's a
They
good
just
movie.
go to Pizza. They also went to Second Cup. Like Lee's Palace. Like, come on, man. These are all staples of Canada.
It just goes to show how, like, even this movie, A Black Robe, how painful Hollywood goes out of its way not to set movies in Canada. Everything
Yes.
has to, the only reason this movie got made, my movie Black Robe, was because of Dancing with Wolves the year before, and because it did so well. And the guy who directed my movie directed Driving Miss Daisy, and they were like, okay, we'll give it. He wants to do this movie, we'll give it to him. That's the only
It'd
reason.
be great
got
if it
made.
was actually about Canada, though. That would have been amazing.
It is. It's about the foundational peoples of this country, without whom
It sounds like a great story about New France.
Yeah, which isn't a country today.
No, that's unfortunate. What is the best movie
And-
set in Canada?
Kevin's movie I've never seen. I am interested, but I've never heard of it.
I am interested too, only for the beer legs.
I'm the least clear on what Kevin's movie's really about. Though, like,
I don't think you are the least clear, Dave. I am the least clear, having watched it.
What is it? Why? So it's the best
It must
because
be the
it's just
best movie.
Oh,
Then.
it is best not to ask why anything with this movie.
Okay.
But it's a very Canadian sense of humor. Everything is like a non sequitur, just out of the blue.
You want
like,
Canadian sense
are
of
you an
humor? Watch
American?
my movie.
No, I'm not an American. I'm a nymphomaniac. Is one of the lines. Like, it just look, you laughed, and it doesn't make any sense. It's a great movie.
Doesn't make any
Apparently,
sense.
Dave, it was extremely hard to find movies about Canada because these guys showed up with these two.
Can I just say,
Unbelievable.
like, if we were judging, I don't know about Kevin's movie so much, but like Scott Pilgrim wasn't going to win any like Academy Awards. I'm guessing Kevin's wasn't either. Like, mine won like 7 genies. That counts for something. And
Not really.
Jeez.
Yep.
Not really.
Best directing, best lead actor.
Unis are a CBC award, are they not?
Okay, this our time is up, and I'm forced to make a decision here. These were
Can't
not
be
the
that
3
hard of a
movies
decision.
I was anticipating necessarily to have to consider. In terms of how you argued it, I think, like, for me, it's a toss up between Jody and Jeff in this
No
particular
shit.
round. Kevin, you did well with this real obscure choice, and I'm intrigued, but I don't know if I'm willing to rule it the best movie set in Canada. And so
I guess it depends how you define Canada. Because, back in
Trying to
1700s,
win.
it wasn't called Canada.
I guess from like Jody's argument, I'm going to give Jody the edge this round.
Oh, this is-
Sorry, so Jody wins for this round.
I just want to let you know,
Pizza,
Dave,
pizza for the win.
you are
I know
always a
you're-
man of integrity, and I like that.
You've all said you were intrigued by my movie.
Yes.
Don't be.
I heard
I picked it
your.
having not watched it. This is apparently Thomas's favorite movie ever.
I
Oh,
heard
yeah.
your
That's my
beer
favorite.
glass
Manga?
legs, and I said, you know what? I'm
Like
gonna
Thomas
check it
P.
No, Thomas, my friend that came to the.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
Thomas. Okay.
Yeah.
As I
Oh.
recall, I think Jerry argued Strange Brew back 11 years ago. And
I definitely
I
did
was
pick
gonna go
Seinfeld.
that route, and then I'm like, I want to try something else.
yeah. Okay, so we're Jody has 1 point, and we are heading into round 2, which is TV. Let's go. All right, and this one is, what's the best sitcom of the 1990s? So I guess Jeff is first up this round, if I'm anticipating the order correctly. Yeah.
Yeah,
All right.
and okay. That's
Your
loading.
your time is starting.
Okay. All right. I went with the option I knew neither of you two were going to pick, and I picked Seinfeld.
Worst
Seinfeld,
fucking show ever.
Seinfeld encapsulates the 1990s of the boomers coming of age, and they were desperately looking for a TV show of 4 horrible people to follow their lives while they really screw over most of the people around them. I mean, really, Seinfeld, that's what makes it so great. It's so of the time, and you can throw it in any episode, and it really is like a mirror of the boomer culture at the time. And a lot of other shows weren't doing that. They were all trying to appeal to the younger generation, the Gen X generation. That's what Friends is. That's what a lot of the shows from the 90s sitcoms were appealing to the Gen Xers. But this Seinfeld was for the boomers. And I think that's why it's lasted so long. It's on TV because all the boomers kept watching TV, and they just kept watching it over and over and over. And it is the show I think you think of when you think of the 90s sitcoms.
Okay. Strong opener. Going to Kevin.
All right. I picked Married with Children, because without Married with Children, Seinfeld wouldn't exist. Married with Children changed everything about sitcoms. It saved a network. Fox was going down without it. And but it took the sitcom and put it on its head. The sitcom used to be just happy families that got along and enjoyed each other, and this was a total departure from that, and really was the blueprint for everything that came after Roseanne and Seinfeld. It really defined that era of sitcom. Even Friends, I don't think would have been around without this show. Fox took a risk and it paid off.
Okay, another great choice. I can't recall if that was in the mix 11 years ago, but very interesting. Okay, and Jody, you have the final.
All right, I'm gonna go with one that really tops all of these, which is going to be Cheers. And the reason why I'm picking Cheers is because not only is this a sitcom that, well, it did start actually in the 80s, but its peak was in the 90s. And with that, we had interesting storytelling. We had basically a show who could prove to you that they could actually spin off shows from it without much hassle. Well, some of them didn't land, but some of them did, like Frasier, for instance. The other thing that I also think is really good about it is the fact that this is a show with a sitcom with a huge cast that essentially can change the cast and they still have that same magic, which, we go from, for instance, Shelley Long to Kirstie Alley. We go from, the guy who played Coach to obviously Woody Harrelson and so on. Overall, I just think it's a great show. It's well scripted. It goes out of that mold of the family comedy, such as Kevin mentioned there, as well, which I think is great. So it's almost like a workplace comedy in a way.
Okay, thank you, Jody. Okay, interesting. So when we did this 11 years ago, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air won. So it's not in contention
What?
here.
Who won that?
I think Jerry picked that.
I think Jerry did. So
Fresh Prince, wow.
Fresh Prince is not here. So we got Cheers, Married with Children, and Seinfeld. All three of these start in the 1980s, but do run into the 1990s.
Yeah.
So
Okay, but there's a major caveat here. Jody's starts in 1982 and ends in 1993. Mine starts in 1989 and ends in 1999. Okay,
Yes.
so that's a pure 90s show. Like, and the first season doesn't even count for Seinfeld. It's like 5 episodes. Kevin has a good argument. I will give Kevin. Jody, you're disqualified because it's not a 90s show. It's an 80s show. Ask
It is a
anybody.
90s show. It ended in the 90s.
Yeah, but it's major
And
run.
some of the best storylines were from the 90s.
Anyway, back to Kevin. Kevin's show is a good show, and it did save a network, but it's just not for me a top 5 90s sitcom. It's a good one, and it deserves its flowers. But for me, I would say like a Roseanne, a Frasier, obviously Seinfeld, Friends. Like there's 4. I rattled off 4 that are better than Married with Children right there. That's.
But would very likely not exist without Married with Children. Married with Children started the terrible people genre of sitcom.
Yes, it did.
And
I looked this up quickly while we were talking because Married with Children is the year before Seinfeld, I think. Or no, it's the year before Roseanne, and then Roseanne's the next year, and then Seinfeld's the year after that. Right. So I guess in a sense it did start the trend.
So TV
was it was such a trendsetter that there was a national campaign against it. Like that's really what drove it to popularity.
There was a lot of people who wanted it off the air.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
It was kind of like
truly groundbreaking.
It was a counterculture show where everyone didn't like it at first, and then the more they watch it, they're more like, that is like my dad.
So I'm gonna quickly respond. I'm gonna quickly respond to all of the things that were said about my show, because my show, yes, it did start in the 80s, just like Kevin's did as well. I think that Kevin's show is a very good show. I really enjoy Married with Children. I rewatch it constantly. I don't rewatch Seinfeld because Seinfeld is fucking garbage. And I don't know why you seem to think that this is the greatest show ever fucking made and everybody that runs it. But overall, let's just get back to the actual story here. The story is a 90s sitcom. Well, a 90s sitcom is a sitcom that happened in the 90s. So I'm not totally sure why you think that we're both excluded because we were both started in the 80s.
I didn't say Kevin was. I said you were.
No.
Mine
is literally the archetype of 90s sitcoms, even if it started
pretty much,
80s.
even though it stared earlier. Yeah, I would agree.
With yours, Jody, it's 8 years of 80s. And that's the majority of the run of the show. Like it ended in the early 90s, sure, but like ask anyone, that's an 80s show. It's not a 90s show, I think.
Okay, well, that's great. I guess I'll let our esteemed judge be the one that makes that decision, but overall, yeah, exactly. So
2 of the 3, according to the one person in the comments, is saying they're 80s.
But Seinfeld, yes, we obviously know that would have been a quick pick. I will say though, out of all these shows, the one that ended that had the most viewership at the end was my show, and it was the most watched finale.
Because everybody watched it throughout the 80s.
Yeah, and Seinfeld was a big event ending. Everyone hated the ending, but I liked it personally. But like, I think with Seinfeld, you can throw on any episode from any season, and you can watch it.
It still sucks. Yeah,
I don't know. Like it's the most watched show I think of all time. I think
I don't think so.
Really? I mean,
I would love to see. I would love to see some compliment, something to back that up. Anyway, I don't expect to win this one anyway. But
okay, great arguments. Do you want to say something, Jeff?
I just wanted to say one thing about his choice of choosing Cheers. He didn't even choose the best sitcom from a character from that show in the 90s, which is Frasier. Frasier is a way better show than Cheers. And it's a 90s show. It would have made just to me.
I don't think Frasier was a better show than Cheers, but anyway.
But it's more 90s.
Yeah,
that's true.
Great. Jeff takes the round. Although Kevin, great job. You were close.
I think Kevin should have took the round, but that's fine.
Yeah. Like it's more to do with like I love Jeff's argument around how the 90s are the boomer. It's like the boomer decade and how it's such a coming of age show for the boomers. So I thought Jeff's opening argument was strong. I thought that Kevin's was too. Although it just, I think
my mother was a boomer and never fucking watched Seinfeld. Like, come on. Anyway.
Yeah, but like all the world did.
But the rest of the boomers did.
The rest of the boomers did. Our dad never watched Seinfeld until it was off the air, and then he was like, "Oh, this show's good."
It.
Yeah, and then he loved it. So it's so weird.
Okay, well, so we are 1 point for Jeff here, 1 point for Jody, no points for Kevin yet. But
yet is the key word, though.
Yet. Okay, we're heading into music.
I'm wildly unprepared, so it's all right.
Apparently, the most watched show is China Central Television's Spring Festival Gala. And
Oh,
Baywatch
perfect.
apparently was the
All
most
time?
episodic watch show. MASH had the top episode.
MASH did have
Baywatch. Oh my
See, people
God.
watch TV. I like Dallas. would be another
Kevin's like,
one.
what do you think of Baywatch?
There used to be like big events around finales and
Yeah.
stuff. That doesn't exist
true.
anymore, really, unless it's sports or something.
Seinfeld,
But,
Seinfeld was one of the last sitcoms that had that. You know.
yeah. Oh, I remember. I was in Vancouver when the Seinfeld finale aired, and we all had to watch it like in this dorm room because we were.
Why?
I know you don't like the show, Jody, but it's.
I'm not the
keep
only
it
one.
That quite clear.
No,
I don't think you're the only one.
Look,
I
they
just-
are terrible. They're terrible characters. They're not good
Yeah.
people. Like,
Well, I know
Yeah.
that's the whole point, but
I don't know if the Married with Children characters are. Well, I guess they're a little.
They
I
are
love
not
fucking
good
Married
people.
with Children.
Yeah.
they're not
They're
good
not
people
cool
either.
at all.
I guess the Cheers people are, but
Well, no, that's
Oh,
even.
the Munchers.
That's even.
But yeah, I just couldn't get past. I'm like 8 of those 11 seasons are in the 80s, so it's.
Yeah, well, Maters think alike, I
Little
guess.
kicks.
Okay, music. What is the greatest musical duo of all time? Is what we're doing here. Is it Hall & Oates or something like that, or maybe something? A duo could be something else. Maybe like Daft Punk or something. So, anyway, we're
Well, that
gonna
would
head
be a
in here.
duo.
Yeah.
There is
got
two of them.
Kevin is up first.
All right. For the greatest musical duo, I picked an actual duo. Garfunkel and Oates.
Oh, nice.
Garfunkel and Oates.
Yes.
I'm not sure I would go with the greatest on that scenario, but anyway, let's hear it.
Great. Good for you. May I suggest you expand your musical tastes? This is a comedy duo that do social commentary. They're fucking hilarious. They only need a guitar, a ukulele, and their voices. No band, no anything. They got great songs like the Ex-Boyfriend song or The Loophole, which has the greatest line in any song. It's "Fuck me in the ass because I love Jesus."
It's true. That is a good song.
And they're just great. They're funny, witty, and great musicians.
All right. Well, not super familiar. I think I've heard of them, but thank you, Kevin. Okay. Jody is second. And
So you know what, Garfunkel and Oates, they before they could even do anything, another group came in before that, and that of course was Simon and Garfunkel. And Simon and Garfunkel is probably the best poetic and composition duo in music history, and I'm going to tell you why. All right, and I'm just looking at my notes here, guys. I'm not reading off my computer. But they served various transitional methods between the late 60s and on. Their guitar work was fantastic, lyrical, very cool, and of course they had to walk before Garfunkel and Oates could run. So that takes it up right there. I don't know what my time is. Oh, there it is. Okay. What else can I say about them right now? Just the fact that they've had 3 billion awards to them. I can get you the actual amount if you want, but let's say they are very well accredited, and overall these are guys that have been studied in schools in music theory, unlike Garfunkel and Oates.
Okay. All right, Jeff, you're up third.
Okay, I went a different way. I went Elton John and Bernie Taupin. Singer-songwriter combo with basically Bernie Taupin was the lyricist and Elton John was the composer. Basically, and a very unique for a duo where someone comes up and, hey, I have a song written just on paper with words. Hey, can you make this work? And Elton John always could. And that makes them I can't think of another group that does that other than maybe Rush, where Neil Peart wrote the lyrics. But what really makes them great is their longevity. They had over 50 years together. They're still actually they'll work together from time to time, but they have some of the most influential songs like Your Song, the Goodbye Yellow Brick Road album, Captain Fantastic and the Brown Cowboy. I mean, their music speaks for itself, and the thing that's kind of cool about this duo is a lot of people don't even know who Bernie Taupin is, and I think that's really unique, and I wanted to go off the usual answers for this one.
Okay, well, thank you. Some interesting choices here, and I think I'm interested to see how this debates. So here we go. 4 minutes on the clock. Have at her.
Okay, I guess
It's not going to debate at all, apparently.
I'll make this very easy. All right. 10 Grammys, 100 million records sold. 100 million. All right.
I would think Elton John has Simon Garfunkel beat.
Oh,
those
Elton
numbers.
John definitely has sold that many when he wasn't a duelist. But anyway, that's fine. And as for
You don't think
Do
mine's a duo?
Do your guys
this is absolutely duo.
Okay.
Do they play with a band? Like, is there a band behind them?
Simon and Garfunkel?
Yeah.
In the studio, yeah.
In the
Yeah.
studio.
They have a
And
band.
yours also a band?
Elton John
behind them?
had a band, yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
But-
Yeah. Mine, no band. Actual duo.
Well,
They
Simon
do
and
so much
Garfunkel
with
is
so
a
little.
duo. Yeah,
What's that?
they did the exact same thing. They did it. They did acoustic performances like those guys do.
Yes, they
Like, what are you
did.
talking
Simon
about?
Garfunkel did duo performances. Where it's
Exact
just
same
them.
thing.
Sure.
Yeah.
Exact
Sure.
same thing.
But that's not the crux of the question. It's not who performed as a duo. It's
It's
Who's the
musical
greatest?
musical duo.
Who's the? No, it's what is the greatest musical duo, and the greatest is the one that can do the most with the least.
Well, that's your definition. That doesn't mean that's an actual definition. I don't get it.
I think my argument for your Jody is Simon Garfunkel only really made it like 6 years. Like they as
So?
a studio group.
In
I'm
6
just
years,
yeah, they did a lot.
How many
They
records
did a lot, but they
sell?
broke up, and then Paul Simon went and did a solo career.
Sure.
And
Yeah,
they
he was
never
very
really got back
successful as
together.
well. Yeah, and well, they did. They got back together for a thing in '81, which was actually a very
Here and
high
there,
selling-
they've reunited. Yeah. but-
high selling concert. But over 500,000 people showed up for that. But
I just think like with
What
that,
can I
that's
say?
just my argument with Elton John is just the longevity and the sheer scale of hits that
Elton
they
John's
put out.
longevity is Elton John himself.
Yeah, he's part of it, but without Elton John can't write lyrics. He can't all of his stories and all the songs he sings. That all comes from Bernie. And
But when he broke up with Bernie Taupin, then he went on to work with Tim Rice, right? Instead, and was that inferior?
I mean, that was for Disney though. That was for Lion King, and then he did a musical with him too.
Right.
But yes, but for the most part, Elton John has needed him.
Dave, I think stats don't lie. It's that simple, and the stats are pretty clear here.
I got a question for Kevin on his duo because I'm least familiar with them. Are they? Would you say that the two of them are equally equal contributors to the duo, or is that blonde girl more the leader and the
No, they
I
seem
actually
to
think it's
both
the other way
be-
around, but yeah.
Yeah, it seems pretty even. Like they don't.
it's not-
Doesn't seem to be a leader.
There's
no.
not a Simon and a Garfunkel in this duo.
No, actually, their name. The reason their name is Garfunkel and Oates is because they wanted the second banana names.
Yeah.
Like that's their whole thing.
Because they're a comedic band. Like that's the
Yes.
whole point of them. Yeah.
Okay.
I
But-
did not
but
expect that to be your
social-
answer.
But social commentary as well.
Dave.
Like I find
Grammys.
both of your choices boring because it says
They
they
can be
say
boring. It
nothing.
doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
Well,
if
I
they're
think
boring.
Simon and Garfunkel's like the default answer.
Might be the default. It might also
That's
be
who
the
you
right
think of right away is the Simon and Garfunkel. I think
Yeah.
And-
most.
And if we're talking about the
100
greatest,
million records,
Jody, if we're talking about the greatest, if they're boring, that does fucking matter. Like
well,
The Seinfeld of
selling
duos.
100 million albums, I don't think
Yeah.
makes them boring.
the Seinfeld of duo.
It might not be your thing. It might not be my thing, but it's somebody's thing.
It's so good.
The Seinfeld of duos. Okay.
The correct answer
I'm
was
not sure
pay
that that's the
nothing.
right one. But
What was the
You know-
correct answer?
Pay nothing.
Hey, nothing. Okay.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Some great, interesting choices here. Not entirely what I was expecting. We don't have Hall and Oates here. Even Brooks and Dunn or something like that.
Did we,
is not-
Brooks and
do you
Dunn, that would've been
actually
Dad's
know
answer.
who,
Yeah.
back then, what the three answers were?
I don't recall what they were back
I
then.
probably argued Simon and Garfunkel.
Yeah, Simon and Garfunkel was there.
And
I think
Go
it
ahead.
was Daft Punk.
Daft Punk, yeah.
I probably picked Daft Punk. I love Daft Punk. I almost went with them.
yeah. but I'm ready to make my ruling.
All right, make your ruling, Judge.
Please.
And we judge these things based on facts, passion, and creativity. And I have to give it Kevin those flowers for this round for creativity and how we argued it. Kevin takes the round.
You wanted that one more than me and Jody wanted it.
I didn't care.
We're all
To be
square
honest, guys,
here.
I'm not even expecting to win this. Quite honestly.
We're tied 1 apiece, heading into our next 3 categories. Moving on to sports. And as we asked 11 years ago, we ask again, what is the most iconic dynasty in North American professional sports? So don't be arguing any dumb soccer league in Europe or something. I don't want to hear it. So going into it.
Kevin, I love that. All right. Sorry, there was
Jody's
a
up
comment there
first.
that said fucking Kevin, which I agree with. Anyway, for dynasties, there is only one in my opinion, and that is of the New York Yankees. The New York Yankees themselves, 27 World Series is or series. I don't know how you would say that. Series. I guess. But overall, this is like, even their apparel is iconic. Like, the hat, half the rappers of the world wear fucking Yankees hats. Like these guys are. This is a dynasty that was made for ages. Like, we're talking. Well, when did they start actually winning? I would say probably the 40s, somewhere around there, even earlier 20s. It doesn't matter. I don't have that stat and I don't care that much. But either way, it is a dynasty, and it is a dynasty of baseball. I think even today, to the standards of today, people still look at that as being a dynasty, and they still treat it as.
Are you saying the entire history of the franchise is a dynasty, or one specific era of the Yankees?
Well, I think that, obviously they've had their ups and downs, Dave, that little fraud thing and, all that stuff, and just that little tiny,
right.
Past that, I think overall, I just think they're just iconic. They're, when you think sports, you think baseball, I think Yankees. And even though I'm not a fan of baseball by any stretch, but we have, legendary players, Babe Ruth.
Okay.
DiMaggio.
Right.
Okay, Jody. Okay, you're well over your time.
Yeah.
All right. All I'm trying to say is that those 27 World Series, they were not won all in a row. There was
And by the same people.
And by the same people, right? So it's not like, so when we talk about a dynasty is like handing down that success from one team to the next.
Well,
team,
I think winning 27 in your history is a success.
Okay, but all right, Jody, if just quickly.
Why are you arguing with me right now?
Okay,
this isn't a debate right now. Right?
Never mind. We'll get to the debate after.
Fine. Okay. Who's up next?
Thank you for your time, Judge.
I am.
Tell me, you didn't pay money for this.
All right, where are we at? We got all flustered.
Whoever's
Jeff,
next.
I'm next.
Jeff. All right.
Okay, you ready? All right.
Yeah.
My answer is Tiger Woods. Yes, thank you. Great picture. I mean, look at that man. That man has won the most
summarizes your answer.
PGA golf tournament tied with Sam Snead in the history of golf tournaments. He's also won second most majors, only second to Jack Nicklaus, who didn't have the same amount of competition that Tiger Woods had. Just leave it up.
I forgot about the adultery.
And the adultery and car crashes and DUIs and
very good at
all
those.
that. He did all of that. Golf is probably the hardest sport to be excellent at, and this man had, especially in the early 2000s, the most dynastical run of a golfer could ever have.
I love that word.
Way more than even Jack Nicklaus did. Jack Nicklaus kind of had pockets where he won a lot, whereas Tiger Woods dominated the field for like a good 10 years straight, and that is impressive.
Okay.
All
right.
They call it a green, not a field.
Yes. Okay. Kevin, you have your minute.
All right. So I picked the 90s Chicago Bulls.
Okay.
Because if we're talking iconic, like, great, we can talk about how they won 6 championships in the 90s, whatever. Iconic, though, the amount of merchandise just that was sold for the Chicago Bulls in the 90s was crazy. Like, Jody, you were talking about the New York Yankees. Fine, they got hats. Great. The Bulls were hats and jerseys and the shorts and the shoes. They still make Air Jordans. Like it's crazy how iconic the Chicago Bulls were. Everybody
no
was
branding
wearing
at all of the Bulls
Chicago.
on it.
What's that?
There's no branding at all of the Bulls on any Air Jordan product, but yeah.
But without the Chicago Bulls, Michael Jordan doesn't have that shoe line.
He had a baseball career too.
Oh, Jesus fucking Christ.
Just hit it.
Jody.
Just hit it.
Jody, Jody.
Well, I was interrupted a bunch of times, so
No, you weren't.
yes, I was. Anyway, sorry, Kevin. I shouldn't have interrupted you.
Okay, now you can argue and yell and interrupt each
Okay,
other.
Now
Go
you
ahead.
may debate.
Jody, you have to pick a certain era of New York Yankees. Okay, you
Why?
can't just be like, "Oh, the Yankees, 100 years of the
1920s to
Yankees."
2000. There's your era.
Where? The
Which one?
2000s?
1920s to the 2000s.
That's an 80-year dynasty. What are you talking about?
Are we talking?
Dynasty. That's exactly what you wanted. You just told me exactly what I just
Oh,
said.
wait, so when the Blue Jays just won 2 World
admitted it's a
Series at
dynasty.
like there in that run?
Usually,
That's
a
not a
dynasty is like a 5 to 10 year, run, of a team. Usually,
I think you
That's,
guys all
know.
need to
It's
look up
usually
what
a
the
team
word
too,
dynasty
right,
means.
Jeff?
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's why I went off the board and I said, you know what? Tiger Woods
Not
had a
single
team
one of
behind
you
him.
know what
He had a
dynasty
swing
means,
coach.
obviously.
There was a lot of things that went in to make Tiger Woods. Most of it booze. But, he still hit that ball better than everybody else.
I don't know. I don't see a lot of people walking around.
There's
with Tiger
no
Woods
team in the
garb
question,
or-
so Jeff's okay from that.
No, yeah,
standpoint.
yeah.
Oh, I don't think that's a problem.
I think Tiger Woods, and you're talking about merch, and he basically single-handedly made golf one of the biggest sports in the world.
Please. Golf was already one of the biggest sports in the world before Tiger Woods came.
Wow.
I don't.
Tell me you were born in the 90s without telling me you were born
Most
in the
people
90s.
never would have watched golf if there was no Tiger Woods.
Before Tiger Woods, everyone was watching golf.
People
Yeah.
Does Tiger Woods have a
watching
drink
who?
named
Mark
after
O'Mara?
him?
Who were they watching? Who was the
I don't
big
know.
draw?
I wasn't watching.
Yeah.
Nicholas.
Yeah, Nicholas was retired by yes, he was. There was a moment in the 80s where kind of golf was big, but it was starting to die. And then all of a sudden Tiger Woods comes around and it exploded. You're talking about merch, Nike, the red shirt.
If we're talking iconic, I mean, you couldn't go anywhere in the 90s without bumping into somebody wearing like full Chicago Bulls stuff. Like it was crazy. It defined fashion in the 90s.
Okay,
I almost picked the Buffalo Bills. They were the only ones
Sorry,
that gave
I
the
guess-
Bulls a
I guess
a run
I
in that
assumed
way.
a dynasty
Buffalo
meant you had
Bills.
to
I
have
would have sunk you harder than a stone, but
Yeah.
because they never won anything.
I think with
But-
the Bulls is like they were such a kind of like a weird mess of like they won 3 championships. Then Michael Jordan went to play baseball and the team sucked. And then he comes back and they win again. And then for some reason,
Then he
Michael
makes Space
Jordan
Jam.
became the worst basketball player in the world when he retired the second time and came back the second time. He was horrible when he was on the Wizards. Like
Mhm.
Wasn't great.
to me, I think it's like Michael
Good thing I didn't
Jordan.
pick the Wizards then.
Yeah, no, but he defines that team like without Pippen and Robin and all those guys. It's about Michael Jordan. Just like
But
my
it's
answer is
not
about Tiger
about-
Woods.
But it's about who's the most what team is the most iconic, what dynasty is the most iconic.
Yeah.
and
And
it's the Bulls.
You picked a
It's like-
team, unlike Jody. Jody picked a franchise, and so like
What does it matter if it's a franchise?
because it's like saying like, well, all the Montreal
I'm
Canadiens.
trying to figure out why you guys seem
Well-
to think you get to interpret how this is, and that's it. And
well, because it's
Dave's gonna
reading
go with that.
comprehension.
Well, yes, I understand that. And that's why it says most iconic dynasty of North American professional sports. I don't see how that, because I've given you an example of not only a team that did well, but is iconic and is a dynasty that lasted for fucking 80 years.
Okay,
who's your
That
team's
dynasty
most
did not last for 80 years.
Sure, they
There are
did.
several
27
dynasties
titles?
in those 80 years. There are
Yes.
there are
They had like 5 different dynasties.
there's the Babe Ruth era, and there's like later in the whoever's in the 60s,
the
like
A-Rod and a Joe.
yeah,
Maggio
like
and-
stuff like that. Okay, wow. All right,
Sports dynasty in sports, a dynasty is a team or individual that dominates their sport or league for an extended length of time.
Jeez,
And,
that
like-
sounds exactly like my pick.
and granted, like if you pick like the Montreal Canadiens, like they have the most Stanley Cups, but they didn't win them all in a row. Like they had a few different eras.
Your point is saying that a dynasty is only a particular part. That makes no sense. Look at the Ming dynasty from China, for instance. That ran for 300 fucking years, and you're telling me that's not a dynasty because it had different people in it during that time?
That's a dynasty, but there's more than one Ming dynasty, right?
I don't know why you're fucking arguing with me. You already just admitted fucking Murphy just told you the exact same thing as to what it actually is, which is my pick.
And me.
And actually Kevin's too.
Hey, mine
Woods, I don't know about that. But
what are you talking about? It was team or individual. I can't think of an individual who dominated more than Tiger Woods.
Except you mentioned Jack Nicklaus did.
Against lesser opposition.
Oh yeah.
How so?
Okay.
They weren't as good at golf back then.
Got a comment there?
It's either 90s Bulls, 80s Lakers, or hate to say it, the Belichick Brady Patriots.
Right. Okay, so Jeff did a good job with his Tiger Woods argument, but I thought that Kevin's was stronger, and no one really attacked the Bulls at all. So other than Jordan sucked by the end, but but that doesn't really take away.
We left.
And the fact that the NBA almost went bankrupt before Jordan comes along, I think is probably also, even though no one said that, but it didn't matter. Kevin gets the point.
Good job, Kevin.
All right.
That's a clip from Black Robe.
Is that? I thought that was like Rufio or something from Hook or. Anyway, we're heading into history, everyone. Who was the most significant world leader of the 20th century? This is gonna be fun. All right. I think who's up first this time, Chris? Okay, it's Jeff. Jeff, you're up first.
Am I? Oh shit.
It's Kevin?
It's
okay.
It's Jeff.
Oh, it's me.
No,
okay,
Jody
it's
was
fine.
up.
I'll go first. It's fine. All right. I went. This one's gonna blow your minds. I went with Richard Nixon. Okay, and I have good reasoning for why I chose Richard Nixon. The main reason is when the gold standard got switched off of went to the petrodollar in 1971. It was done in secret. Nobody was asked. He just did it, and it changed the way money worked forever. We now live in a system where you can now, especially the American government, can go into perpetual debt, never have to pay it back, and they can fund their wars in perpetuity with basically fiat currency. Before 1971, during the Bretton Woods Agreement, everything had to be paid back in gold if you had U.S. Treasury notes. Now, you don't need that at all. Everything is basically based off the promise that the government will repay it back, and is really not backed by anything. And that is now why we went from America, especially the world superpower, went from a $400 billion debt to now $40 trillion, and now we're in the mess we're in.
Okay, Tricky Dick in the mix. Up over to Kevin for his choice.
The most significant? How could it not be Hitler? Like, imagine what he still has his fans all these years later.
If only he could launch rockets.
Listen, I used this image of Elon Musk because I've already had Hitler on the show once, and I refused to have him on twice. So we're going with Elon Musk. Continue, Kevin.
It's the closest web-safe filter version of Hitler.
Just imagine what the world would be like without World War II. You can't. He is so significant that, like, without World War II, does Israel exist? Do they, like, does the United States even become a superpower? Like, none of this is for sure. Like, we don't know what the world would have looked like without him, because he changed everything, and defeating him changed everything in the world, everything we could deal with. Like, I mean, Churchill, these guys would have been nobody without Hitler.
Okay, Hitler in the mix. Okay, and then over to Jody.
Well, Kevin and I have the same ideas, but we picked different people. I picked FDR. The reason why I picked FDR, Roosevelt was a person who transformed a government into, instead of being an isolationist nation, they now would start reaching out and dealing with that. He also dealt with a lot of the policies that they put into place against the Axis evils, as in Hitler and of course various others. And I think the most real important thing, and the reason why he's probably one of the most significant ones, is the fact of how he rebuilt after the war. His policies that were put in place allowed America to rebuild, their offshore areas, as well as, of course, various I've lost the word now, but various governments as well. He helped with just war, which certainly made rebuilding easier.
Okay, so we got FDR versus Hitler versus Nixon, 2 American presidents. All right, 4-minute open debate.
I will say this.
I would say, oh, go ahead.
Sorry, I was going to say, yes, Hitler, very significant. He was a loser. He did lose.
Sure, that's not the question. The question is,
I don't think that means anything more.
Yeah, it's not the winningest world leader in the 20th
Yeah.
I think he rage quit, really.
Yeah, he kind of rage quit. He did. I don't know. I look at, like, all right, the reason why I picked Nixon was all because of the money and the fiat currency, but you also like think about the world we live in today. I really thought with Nixon, I was watching a documentary on him, and I'm like, this is just like today. Like it was like it's very similar to like the president. There's no accountability. He's above the law. He thinks he can do whatever he wants. There's just like the media was like helping him, and then it hit a breaking point, and then like all the world started crashing down on him, which is probably what's going to happen in the near future. So that's kind of why I picked Nixon.
I would say that Hitler has had a bigger effect, even if we just want to say just in the United States, than any American president ever. The America was not a superpower. It was not. Hitler made America a superpower by destroying the rest.
No,
of
Hitler
Europe.
didn't make America a superpower. FDR made. After that, made him a superpower. I don't think Hitler had any.
FDR didn't build a
catalyst.
goddamn thing. Nothing was destroyed in the United States.
No, he didn't have to. But his
Exactly.
policy.
So significant.
Okay.
So it's the Japanese.
What? His policies weren't significant? Are you kidding me? His policies are the reason why America became a superpower.
Well, I mean, you could argue the New Deal.
Yours was the catalyst.
No, the rest
Mine
of
was
the world
the
being
solution.
on fire is what made America a superpower, not their domestic.
They didn't even get into the
policy.
war right away.
Ridiculous.
Their domestic policy after World War II was greatly affected by that.
Their policy after World War II was their policy after World War II. It would not have been their policy, and it would not have brought them. It is not what brought them to superpower status at all.
It's important
that
to
the
note
rest
that
of the world was
FDR
on fire.
died at the end before World War II was over.
Right.
Well,
And also,
yes.
I would say Stalin had a lot more to do with defeating Hitler than even the U.S. did. The Soviets basically took the brunt of the German war machine and withstood it. The Americans got to sit back and play both sides. That's really what happened with FDR. And they were funding both the Nazis and the Soviets and hoping they both killed each other, which is what Truman, his vice president, wanted.
But FDR was one of the reasons why the Americans got out of the Great Depression. That actually is what the comment is about the New Deal. The New Deal is a Roosevelt thing. It's with that, goated. There you go. But not only his wartime policies, but also the fact that he also dealt with the repercussions of the Great Depression and various other things that were happening as well. This is a guy who, yes, ended his life, or well, he didn't end his life, but obviously his illness did. But he was a guy who ended up putting in I would say the groundwork for making America a superpower. And before that, they were isolationist. I can't say the word, but you know what I mean.
Isolationist.
That's the word.
Yeah. And I think
say it over and over again.
But I think what Nixon did is he prolonged the next Great Depression from happening, which like the petrodollar agreement just ended like 2 years ago, and we're now going to escalating debt.
I wouldn't disagree with that.
Yeah.
You know,
definitely
No
that was
Hitler,
my argument
no
for Nixon.
Israel. World's completely different.
Okay,
I think all three of these, the worlds are different because of them.
true. All three of these people were significant in their own
Yes,
right. It's
absolutely.
about the most. I need probably another minute to decide because I don't. There wasn't a lot of talk about Nixon specifically, like why or why, like from other than Jeff.
Knock
Like-
down Nixon.
Like, is there a reason Nixon doesn't deserve it?
Yeah, he's a bitch.
I'm not a crook. I am not a crook.
He was a crook. He was clearly a
But
crook.
that's what like I thought.
I
with
can't
Nick-
knock his pick because based on the question, Jeff is right. That is one of them. I agree. I think he definitely influenced a lot of things, especially in American culture. But you know, I think Hitler definitely was a global scale issue, and FDR was more of a U.S. issue. But it was still he helped them out in some of the worst times. And
I don't even think Nixon is the most influential American president of the 20th century. Like,
no, I wouldn't agree with
like,
that either.
Like Reagan would have more influence on the way America is now than Nixon.
Yeah,
for
but
sure.
Reagan would not have been able to do what Reagan did without this gold standard being switched over. That's my point.
And America would have never been able to do what it did if it weren't for Hitler.
I'm not gonna knock any of your guys' answers because I think all of them are solid. I think if I was forced to not pick mine and have to pick one of the two, it wouldn't be Nixon.
It would be Nixon.
It wouldn't be.
It would not be.
It would be, well, I mean, Hitler's the obvious answer.
Yeah, Hitler definitely had.
I'm sorry, guys. Did I actually pick an obvious answer?
Yeah,
for
you
once?
didn't go off the board. You didn't pick the Winnipeg movie about the glass legs. You didn't go
Like,
that way.
No one wants to watch a movie about Winnipeg. All right, it's
Like-
that simple.
Jeff, you did a great job with Nixon, but I feel like the gold standard alone, like I think you needed a few more things to solidify him. So I'm going Hitler. Not because significant, not
picking Hitler.
Not a fan.
not a fan, but you're right. Like
I don't know. It kind of sounds like
imagine
you're
a
a
world-
fan.
Imagine a world where Hitler doesn't exist. You can't, but you imagine a world where Nixon wasn't president. You probably can, right? So it's maybe because
Yes.
that's more recent,
That's true.
like Nixon existed, but that was kind of and FDR. Like Jody, I think it was just more like I think in terms of what he did on a global stage. I think you got some of it, but it was
Well, I considering the American dollar is what drives most of the markets, I would say that was still pretty important. But
yeah, they're all important. Okay, so that means
I'm not mad.
I gave the point to Kevin for the record. So yes. All right. So
now it's
Kevin,
gonna be
Turning
whether
out to
or
be a
not-
dynasty over here.
Yeah,
it's a dynasty. So Kevin has 3 points, pretty much guaranteeing that he will be in the speed round. And this leaves the wild card round with Jody and Jeff tied right now at 1 for coming into it. So
And we might still be if Kevin wins it.
this should
He
be a
has
good
dynasty
one.
now.
We are going into wild card. What is the best science fiction franchise?
Babylon 5. No, I mean, I'm kidding.
That might have helped you, Jody.
Fuck, that would have been a
Might have.
good answer.
We should have picked that one. He would have. Why am I now?
Yeah, that would have been
All right, let's hear it, Jody. Babylon 5. 1 minute.
It's
on
not
the clock.
Babylon 5. I didn't pick Babylon 5. I obviously picked Star Trek, guys. This is not hard. Okay. We talk sci-fi, we think Star Trek. It's that simple. Now, yes, they've had some problems recently, Dave. Just a couple. But you know what? The rest is pretty solid. And it is a dynasty that started obviously in the 60s. And I'm going to use the word dynasty because it is correct in this scenario as well. But overall, I don't even know how to argue this. This is so blatantly obviously right. I can't argue more. It's just the storytelling was innovative at the time. It still is in some scenarios, just not others, like Academy. And overall, I just think, at its core, it was thought-provoking. It ended up creating massive world building. Like we have a massive world. Like we look at the video game, Dave, that you play. You know, that massive world building just alone in that. And overall, just it's an easy answer, but it's also the right one.
Okay, thanks, Jody. Star Trek is in the mix. Over to Kevin.
All right, I picked one of my favorites, Planet of the Apes.
I knew it.
I mean, well, the original more than the new movies, but Planet of the Apes is amazing. It's about us, and as a science fiction story, it's incredible because it imagine leaving your planet, thinking you're going somewhere else, and then landing on your planet in the future, and it's been taken over by apes. And you are lower on the food chain. It's a social commentary on how we treat animals, how we treat each other, and all wrapped up in a fun time travel story. It's great. It's just absolutely great.
Do you claim the Tim Burton version from?
Sure. We'll just take the whole thing
With Wahlberg?
It's fine. Sure.
Okay. All right. Kevin doesn't even need the whole minute to tell us.
No,
so
I'm good.
We're good.
I'm already in
Great.
the speed round.
Yeah,
That's
he's
right.
already
He doesn't
there.
care.
He can kind of sit back this round.
He could have actually argued Babylon 5 and he still would have been fine.
Oh, my turn.
Over to
Okay,
Jeff.
I went with the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Okay, so for this, I kind of went on scale. I wanted to go for because I was originally going to pick a different choice, but then I said, you know what, this is the best choice because it just encapsulates. You talk about world building, the world they've built over the last 20 years of making these movies and TV shows has been nothing short of incredible. They have the highest grossing movie of all time. They have the highest grossing film franchise of all time. They literally introduce phases of different movies to make it all coalesce. It's all run by Kevin Feige, who's really like the Gene Roddenberry, I guess, to go with the Star Trek analogy of Marvel, and he puts it all together where it comes together and it's not convoluted. It makes sense, and they can do all sorts of different types of movies. They do horror movies, they do action, they do comedies, they do dark comedies. You really have the scope and scale of a really great science fiction franchise.
Okay. Interesting. Here we go into open debate, and try to tell us why it's the best at science fiction.
Okay, I know people are going to come at me because it's a superhero franchise, but I think it's still at its core a science fiction franchise because most of the characters, it is at least somewhat plausible. Yes, maybe not Thor, I guess you could argue, but almost every character, Iron Man, his suit, Captain America with some sort of superhero serum makes him super strong. Everything is somewhat plausible. That's what Stan Lee really wanted to make Marvel when he wrote the comics, and then what this is all based off of. So that's my main argument for why it is still science fiction, because everything is at least somewhat based in reality.
Any response?
So science fiction, my show basically made it a household thing. And, we have technology that was inspired by these stories. Tablets, for instance, being a perfect example of that. Stuff like that. And overall, just the fact that you have massive world building, you have the ability to tell very coherent science stories, things that are based on science, just like Jeff said, even though Jeff's answer I think is about 1/3 sci-fi, if that. And as for Planet of the Apes, it's better than one planet, Dave? A whole fucking bunch of them. We get basically a series about obviously what Kevin already said, obviously apes taking over and stuff like that. But overall, I do agree. I love Planet of the Apes as well. But when I think sci-fi, I don't think Planet of the Apes. It's not even there, even though it is sci-fi. But overall, just storytelling, everything that we've gotten from Star Trek that has spilled over into reality because of it. That's what I think makes it. And on top of that, just the amazing stories and the message. The message is important as well.
I really wished I could put together in this time we have left a supercut of Jody shitting all over Star Trek every fucking week.
I don't shit over everything. There was good Star Trek. It's just not lately. And that doesn't make it not sci-fi though.
I think that's like an argument. Both of their choices later on didn't really hold up to what they used to do. Star Trek used to, I think, be a more solid product.
And you think that Marvel is doing a great job? Okay,
I think they're still doing fine. I think Doomsday is going to be the biggest movie of the year when it comes out.
Well, I'm sure it will be because they've poured a stupid amount of money into it, and it's got characters that everybody likes. I get it.
Well, yeah, that's part of it.
And it's 1/3 sci-fi, so that's great.
I mean, maybe it's it was more maybe grounded in sci-fi, like at the beginning. Like most of their origin movies are more maybe grounded in sci-fi, but at the same time,
I would agree with that.
Yeah. I do think anytime you deal with science fiction, and the more you get it, there's no warp core. That's like that's kind of a fantastical idea.
No, we have tesseracts.
Yeah, we have tesseracts instead. And Marvel. What's the difference between the warp core and a tesseract? Not much. Like.
Well,
not exactly the same things, but
no,
but they're both. I accept they're both science fiction franchises. Like,
I think all three are.
But
okay, what makes something the best? I think is really the question here, right? So,
well, I think I already kind of said
for
why.
me now. I think when you look at the de facto what sci-fi is, Star Trek is always one of the first things that comes up because it is a great example of sci-fi, and that's what it is. And it doesn't try to hide that. That's exactly what it started with, and I think the world is a better place because of Star Trek.
Well, I can tell you this much: it won't be Planet of the Apes.
Why?
So,
because I barely spoke.
Yeah, you barely spoke.
You're already the
He doesn't need to though. He's already a winner.
And so I think I'm gonna. Geez, this is tough.
Because you love both those things, Steve.
I do.
Yeah,
I do.
You got to take that personal feel.
But what I'm struggling with is that, I guess it's about what's contemporary, right? Because, as Jeff mentioned, okay, Spider-Man and this Avengers Doomsday are going to be the biggest movies. Whereas, if they made, if a Star Trek movie came out, no one hardly, some people would go see it, but not nearly the same kind of numbers.
But that's not. The question.
That's not the it's what's the best franchise, or what's the best franchise at doing science fiction? And I think from that perspective, I think Jody has met the mark on the argument.
Just give me it. Say goodbye to Jeff and let's call it a day.
But but Jody also mentioned it's declined in recent years, and I would say that there's definitely more eyeballs on the MCU, and
there is, but I wouldn't say that their quality has been fantastic lately. One good movie out of 5 bad ones. I don't know if that's really that great.
Add a little excitement, a little spice to your lives, and all you do is complain. Where's your adventurous spirit, your imagination?
That's true. Where is your adventurous spirit and imagination? Which is what sci-fi is.
I think with Star Trek, it's you get toward I don't even watch it anymore. And as much as Marvel has been tired, I'll still watch it. That's for me. That's what makes it a good franchise.
Over and over again, watch almost any series of Star Trek before I watch any MCU-based TV shows again.
If they made a Star Trek Discovery movie and it was coming out, I would not go see it.
No,
or,
I wouldn't
even a Strange World, whatever show that is out, and they made a movie and it's in the theaters. But Deadpool, Wolverine, I went and watched. Because I love those characters.
The characters themselves, yes, yeah. Which puts my point even further. Is the fact that
I know. I gotta make a decision here.
Yeah.
It's tough. Points to Jody. I gotta go, Jody.
There we go.
Yeah.
I'm still in this for a minute.
Sorry. Yeah. All right. Jody gets the point. Sorry, Jeff.
I know. I'm good.
All right. Jeff also didn't make it to the speed round 11 years ago. So I've been consistent, at least.
And I had good answers then too.
Yeah, you did. But now Jody must face Kevin instead of Jerry in this.
That's going to be hard.
Round. We head into the
it's
speed
not.
round.
I suck at the speed round.
And now it's
Now-
time for the speed round.
We are repeating the same speed round questions that we did in episode 1. Jody, I guess,
Oh,
did
God.
live these back then. Kevin did not.
I tried to spice it up. I
told him no more spice. I said, make it bland. And that's what we're doing. So
That's what we want. Bland programming.
Exactly.
Anybody who's watching, congratulations for watching nothing. You know, it's
Well, I thought it was interesting what I asked in that original speed round episode. So let's go through it. Okay, movie speed round. First
answer, right? All right.
Yeah. Which director was better, Ridley Scott
Ridley
or Tony
Scott.
Scott? You're saying
Ridley
Ridley Scott. Kevin, you get Tony Scott.
Ridley
I don't
Scott.
know
is
who Tony Scott is.
Hang on.
Top Gun.
Please wait until Dave has read the question before you answer. But
True.
we'll go.
Oh, okay. You want to read it again?
No, it's fine. It's fine.
It's fine. You can have Ridley.
You
Can we
go first, Jody.
I don't know. Kevin can figure out who Tony Scott is. Well, you go.
It's his brother. Ridley Scott, like, come on now. Blade Runner. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Alien, excuse me. Beautiful as well. These are what makes amazing movies. These are movies that they study on how to do these correctly. And Ridley Scott is a phenomenal filmmaker. I think he has a really good eye for it. And on top of that, he tells some of the most amazing sci-fi stories. And of course, he's done other things. But
All right, rebuttal. Kevin, Tony Scott. Do you figure out who he is?
yeah, he's looking him
He
up.
did Top Gun, which was great,
movie.
and True Romance, both great movies. No, I don't know who he is. Like,
Is he inferior to Ridley Scott?
oh, of course not. How could you say that? He did Top Gun.
He did.
Yeah. That belongs in the Smithsonian.
Beverly Hills Cop 2, Days of Thunder. These
Oh
are
yes,
amazing.
Beverly Hills Cop 2. That's a movie.
Oh
that's
wait, no,
known
he
for
didn't do
being
those. That's
studied.
something else.
Yeah, I don't
Whatever.
think he did that. But anyway.
Jody,
idea.
15 seconds.
Yeah, I think I've already won, Dave. But I will.
Yeah, I think
continue
he's
with the
already
fact
won,
that-
Dave.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I don't
like,
know
this
who
is-
to. I don't know directors.
I was hoping
Not
Kevin
a
would
D-
rise.
I am not a DVD extras kind of guy.
I'm just gonna say, even though I'm gonna get
To
this
Jody.
point, we're still tied. It doesn't matter.
Well, you're tied now officially.
Yeah.
All right,
are now.
speed round TV. Let's do it
All right, and I gotta wait until you mutter all the words before I yell.
until I've said the whole words.
All right, we'll do.
Speed round TV. Which TV show was better, The West Wing or House of Cards? Now, keep in mind when we asked this question 11 years ago, House of Cards had not had their scandal with Kevin Spacey. All
Oh,
that
good
had not
show.
happened.
I
yet.
gotta say West Wing.
Okay. So Kevin gets House of Cards.
I feel that West Wing is
Wow.
it's a better ensemble.
Wow.
You had it was Martin Sheen, incredible actor. I can't remember that lady's name, but anyway, overall, I just found it was a really good show that I obviously watched the entire thing, and I feel it was a fantastic show with a great cast, and it didn't have a guy who ended up molesting people.
Kevin, you could just say anything about House of Cards and you should win this point.
Yeah, so obviously Jody has not seen The West Wing.
I have actually seen some of it, but not a lot of it.
I have also not seen it because it sucks. If it was
No, that
good,
doesn't
I would
make
have
it
seen
suck.
some of it. Seen all of House of Cards, and say what you want about Kevin Spacey. He is a great actor,
Yes.
terrible human being.
Apparently.
But this show it's actually amazing, and Robin
Right.
I can't remember her
Robin
name.
Wright.
Robin Wright is incredible in this. It's even the season where they got rid of him. She's awesome. She holds the show. All the intrigue, all the murder. Like, we're finding out that House of Cards is a lot more similar to the real White House than we thought.
Then the West Wing? Yeah.
Well, I'm sure it is. But the West Wing being the West Wing, I would say probably it was a little bit more influential in that scenario as well. But that's fine.
No, I don't
Overall,
think so. House of Cards
just
was
think-
an absolute phenomenon.
Yeah.
It started all
and clearly
of Netflix's original.
My pick, Dave, is bad because Kevin hasn't seen it.
That's right. 100%.
I think the cast is much stronger on West Wing for what I have.
Who are
seen.
they?
Huh? Martin Sheen, Delaney. I can't remember. her
And
name.
who do they all play?
Well, obviously Martin Sheen is the president,
Rob Lowe.
and the girl who I can't remember her name, she's like the chief aide.
Yeah. Okay. Points to Kevin.
And then there's other stuff.
Let's not torture him anymore. All right.
Had you seen either of the shows, Jody?
Yes, I have seen
You
most
picked the
of
one
House
you
of Cards. Because I didn't think House of Cards was that great. But anyway.
Okay. Speed round music. Who was better, Bob Dylan or Kurt Cobain?
Bob Dylan.
Okay, you get Kurt Cobain, Kevin.
Bob Dylan didn't shoot himself, so that's a good one. But on top of that, he wrote not only for himself, but he wrote for others as well, and he created some very iconic music. And that's all I need to say about that.
And he didn't shoot himself.
Kurt Cobain certainly did. Kurt Cobain made way more iconic music in a much shorter period of time. Again, the whole grunge scene started with Nirvana. Nirvana changed music forever. Like Bob Dylan, he was a folk singer. Folk singing was around before.
Absolutely.
He did it well.
Yeah.
Some would argue. But
I think his numerous accolades would disagree with that statement, but all right.
I mean, there's a reason that when you were on Eamon's show that you picked Nirvana as your album and not a Bob Dylan album.
Oh.
Well, it's because he wanted to pick an album like that. It has nothing to do with my choice. I'm not sure where you're going with that one, but all right.
Because you like Nirvana way more than Bob Dylan, because Nirvana is better than Bob Dylan.
I wouldn't say I like Nirvana better than Bob Dylan, but anyway.
You wouldn't right now.
Definitely not right now. I just think overall, if you're looking at, yes, the shorter time, it was amazing what Kurt Cobain did do, but I think Bob Dylan is an influence on multiple genres of music, not just grunge, and rock, for instance. Nobody is quoting Kurt Cobain as being a mentor for.
Points to Kevin.
Am I getting cut off here? Why is Kevin getting the points? I don't get this.
He just argued that one better. So
I'm not sure he did, but anyway.
He kind of got you with that Eamon one.
Got a couple singers.
I don't know why that's even relevant. You're a terrible host. All right, anyway, let's go.
Moving on. Kevin's got a 2-point lead.
Now, if I don't win this one, we're done, right?
You need everything you can get. Yeah. Okay. Speedrun sports. Which sports icon had the most significant association with the respective game? Was it Babe Ruth or Jack Nicklaus?
Babe Ruth. Babe Ruth is baseball. Everybody knows Babe Ruth. Jack Nicklaus is, as we've heard, nobody even cared about him. They only cared about Tiger Woods. And what?
So says Jeff.
Well, Jeff obviously knows what he's talking about. When it comes to golf, he is the best dynasty in golf, which obviously Jack Nicklaus didn't. But Babe Ruth was part of the best dynasty in baseball, which of course is
the 80-year dynasty.
The 80-year dynasty that is the Yankees.
Jack before Tiger Woods, Jack Nicklaus was synonymous with golf. Like
Well, he was synonymous with iced tea and lemonade. I'm not totally sure he was that synonymous.
That's an Arnold Palmer.
That's right. That is a Palmer. So he doesn't even have a drink. All he's got is a Nintendo game and a legacy. Whatever.
Right. And what does Babe Ruth have?
A legacy, a big legacy.
Oh, sure. And Jack Nicklaus doesn't. Nobody.
Babe Ruth is also
a Jack Nicklaus in the context of golf.
Did Jack Nicklaus even bang hookers? I don't think
probably.
All right, maybe. But you know what, Babe Ruth, that guy was huge. He was obviously not healthy, and he still managed to be an amazing baseball player. The dude could point somewhere and just shoot it there.
Back when you didn't have to be an athlete to be a baseball player.
Well, nobody watched golf, so it didn't matter.
Everybody watched golf.
No, nobody fucking watched golf. Give me a break.
You can't say that Jack Nicklaus wasn't just synonymous with golf. Like,
he was.
There's so many. Sure. He was the singular.
But the problem is, it's still golf. At the end of the day, it's still golf. I love golf, but at the end of the day, it doesn't have the same amount of fans as baseball does, which makes them obviously better. Oh, absolutely.
Jeff, are you leaning one way or the other here?
I think probably Jody's more on the right track. Because like Kevin's not giving reasons why Jack Nicklaus was.
No, he's just like Jack.
Just that he was the icon of
He was
golf.
golf. That was it. Like he was golf.
What? Like why? Like that's.
I don't know. I don't know sports, Jeff. But I know who Jack Nicklaus is. That means he's iconic and significant in his sport.
Do you know who Babe Ruth is?
That it even penetrated a non-sports fan.
You know who Babe Ruth is, though, right?
Okay, this is all beyond the numbers and the records. You gotta make a choice.
Here, I'm ready to make my ruling. I listened to this again today, like when you argued this, Jody, against Jerry, and you had Babe Ruth then, and you tried to make this argument that Babe Ruth led to the Baby Ruth chocolate bar, which was not accurate, and you didn't do that this time, which I think is gross. So you get the point.
That's gross.
It's gross. 11 years later, he said, "You know, I'm not going the candy bar way.
I'm not going to throw that candy bar argument in here.
I'm not going to allow it. All right, fair enough. We got to make sure confections are not something we make part of. Okay.
All right, you're still alive, Jody. As we head into history,
barely.
You still need this. Which of these inventions changed the world most significantly? Was it contraceptives or the internet?
The internet.
What?
Was this actually a question?
Yes, it was.
Really? Wow.
It was my question, but he changed one of the questions. It was going to be internet. It was computer versus TV.
No, it was conscious. I listened to it again. Jerry was okay because Jerry ended up with the internet here, and he was like, "How am I going to argue the internet against contraceptives?"
All right. Well, I can argue the internet. Do you want me to start?
Very Jerry.
Yeah.
Sure.
All right. The internet is one of the most influential. Oh, see, I said it that time. Things that we have in modern age. This has allowed us to communicate vastly better, and sometimes worse, depending on if you use Teams or not. But overall, the internet is fantastic. The internet allows us to have shared resources. We have the ability to see knowledge from other parties we might not have been able to, because back then we only had encyclopedias, and contraceptives really obviously didn't help because we still have 8 billion people on the planet.
Kevin?
Contraceptives, Jesus. Like versus the internet. This is a great question.
I'm just waiting for anything that you're going to say.
Contraceptives allow women to have the life that they want. I mean, that affects half of the fucking planet immediately. Right. And they can go and work and not worry about what they have to do when they get pregnant. They can basically control their own bodies. That changes the world more than the internet. I mean, the internet, we can talk to each other. We could talk to each other before. We could watch TV on the internet. We could do that before. There actually isn't too much that we can do on the internet that we couldn't do before the internet.
You mean
but
like
not having 1,000
accessible?
fucking children is a much more significant.
So I'm going to settle this right now.
To Jody.
I'm going to settle this right now. Your wife was on contraceptives for all 3 pregnancies of her thing.
Nope.
You have kids because of that.
Maybe I do. Work. Maybe I do. But are you saying contraceptives don't work? Like
they obviously
at all?
Didn't, because you have 3 kids, and according to your wife, all 3 of them were trying to be.
Okay. maybe the contraceptives that we chose at the time didn't work for us. But you can't say that contraceptives don't work.
Of course they do.
Of course they do, and they really have a positive material effect on our lives. Whereas the internet, I don't know about that. We could do everything we could do on the internet. We could do off the everything.
Is that it? No more rebuttals.
How are we going to distribute this program without the internet?
How are we going to do what?
This show without the internet.
Around Dave's table like we used to.
Okay, and then how are you going to get it to everybody?
Put it on TV.
Put it on TV. Okay.
Radio.
Or the radio, or
we can reach a lot more people on the internet than we can.
Okay, well, I don't think I can give this one to you, Jody. I think Kevin He somehow made the contraceptive argument, even though Jerry had contraceptives, and he was like, "Oh, I gotta argue contraceptives," and Kevin just did it. So much better than Jerry did.
Break. So does the internet.
But maybe just for kicks, maybe we'll do this final one, just for fun. And this was before
All or nothing.
Before we got the third version. Wildcard question was, who is the better Spider-Man? Was it Tobey Maguire or Andrew Garfield?
I'll let Kevin pick this one.
If you had to pick one.
Fine. Tobey Maguire, I guess.
Okay. And why?
I don't know. All these movies are visually repulsive to me. I
Not the top science fiction franchise for you?
No.
It's no point.
Okay.
Especially Doctor Strange.
I don't.
This is just
my
for
only
kicks.
reason for picking Tobey Maguire is people seem to hate Andrew Garfield's.
Yeah, more than they hate Tobey?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, right. You don't like Spider-Man movies.
I would pick Tobey Maguire if it wasn't for that god-awful Spider-Man 3. Like that movie where he goes emo.
He had a symbiont in him.
Yes.
It's fine.
That doesn't make you emo.
Well, maybe it does. It is black.
Yeah, and why is Andrew better?
Andrew Garfield better? I think he's a better actor. But overall, I think he played a better Spider-Man. I think probably Maguire gets the better Peter Parker for the most part. But overall, there you go. Actually, that person said the exact same.
It's right on your line of thinking there.
Yeah, but I think overall, I think Garfield was the better one. Even though I think the movies that Maguire was in were a little bit more comic. They were more in line with the comic books, but overall,
Okay.
But
all right, well, it's good. This was just for fun, and
I don't give a fuck about.
I know Kevin's already won, so he has even less of a fuck to give. So, so congratulations to Kevin, who wins it.
Thank you.
With contraceptives.
Contraceptives.
You won one with contraceptives.
Yeah,
I won a lot with contraceptives.
That's
so.
True,
Congrats to Kevin.
Wonderful job, gentlemen. Wonderful job. That is our 100th episode of Trivial Debates. I want to thank everybody for joining us. So that was an interesting experiment. Thank you.
Experiment.
Yes, can I go back into retirement from Trivial Debates now?
Yeah, maybe we'll see if I find any subject matter that's coming up. In fact, our next episode is going to be about Star Wars, so you're going to want to tune into that. But before we leave, I'm going to give everybody a chance to say their goodbyes and plug their plugs and let everyone know about you and your future endeavors. And with Kevin being our winner, Kevin, where can people find you in your future endeavors?
Nowhere. Please don't.
Perfect.
Please don't.
Alrighty. And Jody, how about you? Where can people find you in your future endeavors?
Pretty much with Kevin. Well, I do social media and stuff like that, but not too much of it. And obviously on Live Long and Podcast, where Kevin and I are both predominantly better than Dave, and it shows.
Even though it's not a competition.
It is, though. Everything's a competition, Dave.
Jeff, where can we find you?
Monday nights, right now we're breaking down Firefly. Also Wednesday nights sometimes Super Mario Bros podcasting. We'll do Survivor when it comes back. But that's
I guess a month away, right, for the next season. So
that's it.
Beautiful.
That's really all I do right now.
And our wonderful host with the most, Dave Mader. Where can people find you in your future endeavors?
Well, thank you, World Mind, and we always appreciate you producing behind the scenes. As they mentioned, you can find us on Live Long and Podcast. We're on every Monday. As Jeff mentioned, we're doing Firefly on the Monday night podcast, moving on to something else when we wrap that up. And then Thursdays, usually it's Star Trek The Next Generation, but at the moment we're covering season 4 of Star Trek Strange New Worlds. So tune in every Thursday to hear what we think about that show. Fucking Kevin won. Thank you, Sam. Yes. And,
I'm not sure if he's disappointed or happy.
I don't quite know how to take
You said it
that.
earlier.
But I know what this one is. This one is Suck It
Suck
Jody,
it, Jody.
which I'm very used to in many ways, and that's what it is.
I feel like he's channeling your Kieran a little bit, maybe. Or
Yeah, and and as mentioned, you can check us out on Wednesdays for season 51 of Survivor, starting in late September on Super Maid Brothers podcast.
And just to add to my internet thing, if it wasn't for the internet, I wouldn't be getting told to suck it, which is
Why it's the greatest invention ever.
It is the greatest invention ever.
He could tell you to suck it over the phone.
He could have sent you a letter.
it would be so much better.
You could have sent a pigeon carrier to tell you to suck it.
Jeff could have delivered a postcard that just says "Suck it, Jody" from Newfoundland.
I want a postcard that says "Suck it, Jody."
Well, before we suck it up anymore, we're going to end this show. Thanks, everyone, for joining us. See you next month for our Star Wars edition, where we have host Stephen Waters bringing in 3 contestants from around the Star Wars content universe to talk about Star Wars and everything in the galaxy.
From the
far,
Darth
far away.
Theorist.
And
From
tell
the
them
Darth
that
Theorist himself.
Yeah.
tell them that all 3 of us didn't pick Star Wars as the best
Science fiction
franchise.
You know, my wild card question was, what would have been the worst science fiction show? And I had listed a bunch from
Babylon
like
5.
Manimal to Lex to I
That
didn't
would've
list
been a
Babylon
funner
5.
debate.
But
I would have been.
That would
a
have been
one.
better.
I'm just saying my speed round questions were way better. But anyway,
Well,
until
when
next
you
time,
host, use those.
maybe.
Behind
Beam up some Star Trek content with Live Long and Podcast. A roundtable movie discussion with Hey, did you see this one? And take a peek into the darkness with Heard Noise, Must Investigate with Michael Chan. Watch us duke it out on trivial debates. And let's chat about TV with the Super Maid Brothers. It's all here on the United Federation of Podcasts.